Hello, Merlin. How are
Hello,
you?
Alex. Good afternoon. How are you?
It is indeed afternoon. I
Yes.
say it's also a bright and tight day. Everyone likes things that are bright. I think people prefer things that are tight.
Okay.
And I do want to know how you are, especially because last week I started a story about what I thought was a very exciting light bulb, and
Hmm.
you disagreed. So how do you start a podcast?
Hello.
A bright and tight one.
Hello.
Hello.
Was that all prepared, or were you just riffing?
Oh, what would be a better answer?
For whom?
You.
A better answer for me in what sense? See, yeah.
I don't answer.
Right.
See, you think I don't?
I mean, it's funny because you kind of like it's like you walk into a party and you're like, "Hey, everybody, I'm really awkward, so I'm going to talk for just a few seconds, and I want everyone to listen to me, and then I want the party to go on." Bright and tight. Everybody likes that. Later. Okay. Hey, Alex. Yeah, have,
No,
have some dip,
I
please.
walk. I
Now you made me think of something like a neon colored tube top. Tight. I don't like tight. I like comfortable. I don't think I like bright. I like muted. Madeline and I can't agree. I like the way that the Queen dresses for the first two seasons. I like her jewel tones.
Oh, interesting. I
Oh,
would have
Alex,
thought that a
I
jewel
forgot how
was
much
bright.
Porchy. I forgot how much Porchy there is in the first two seasons.
I love
I love
a
Porchy.
Porchy.
Yeah. But no, I.
I
So yeah, so your light bulbs. Do you want to say more about your light bulb your father gave you?
no,
Where your children
I
play with
do
their toys?
not. I do not want to say any more about my light bulb.
Did you figure out if it makes a color? Right? Was that
Yes.
the novelty of it?
Yes.
Okay.
It
And it's tight.
is
It
it
fits
too
right
is
into the
bright and
socket.
tight. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
It's
Well,
very
thanks to everybody for
exciting.
listening to the show. Thank you for supporting what we do here. And it's a shame we can't have Max on anymore. That has nothing to do with you. It's really about society. It's about
It's not a
society.
law.
It's not a law. She's not a hunchback. And don't masturbate on women in dollar stores, guys. It's got to stop. Hey, hey, how are you?
Well,
Hey, how's it going
no.
there? How's it going there? My kid's really good pal went on a little family trip to Detroit, and apparently it was really bad there. Is it still bad there? Are you still getting the smoke and everything?
Yes. Well, not really
It's
bad,
not as bad as it
but
was like last week, right?
no.
It sounds like it was
I
terrible, and terrible in the sense partly of again, it's unusual, very unusual for you guys to get that kind of thing, right?
Yes. Wildfire smoke, typically unusual in Chicago.
Right,
It
right,
has
right.
happened a couple of
It's no
times,
fun though.
but
We get that here, and it's really no fun.
yeah. Have you ever though gotten like the when the aftermath I mean, I suppose it's all that aftermath, but it doesn't look like there's any sort of a smoke in the air, but you can just tell there's
Oh my
something
god, I'm
off.
so glad you said that. I said
That's
this to my wife.
weird.
Well, we had gosh, all I can tell you, I remember it was while I was still doing back to work, and while I had one of those $800 air filters. I think it was like November, probably 2, 3, 4 years ago. I guess I don't know, however long it's been. We've had so much wildfire smoke here that
Hmm.
one way I notice it, this is going to sound so strange. So you got windows in your house that face an area where sunlight comes in and it casts shadows. I can tell from the shadows in a room when the smoke is bad.
Oh
It's
God.
difficult to describe, but first of all, there's an orange, at least here. There's kind of an orange aspect to things, but there's a strange cast, ghostly, like almost like supernatural kind of cast to the shadows in a room, and it's hard to describe. But and then the breathing stuff is very unpleasant. I don't nobody in our household or my immediate world have the kinds of health issues that affects as directly, but apparently it's really rough for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's
I mean, just staying in their house and trying
unpleasant.
to stay cool, you know?
Yeah. It it was I don't want to say I didn't like have empathy for folks
I wouldn't say that either.
experiencing
Yeah.
well, no, I just haven't ever
I like
had
that you begin
like
by figuring out how you feel by saying what you think you don't feel. Yeah.
well, process of elimination.
Sorry, I'm getting that. Sorry, I don't like that. I meant to say.
It's I don't know, it's just a very odd prolonged thing that I'm like, ooh, this is icky. And even this weekend, there's just kind of a muted Instagram-esque tone in downtown. So
It's spooky though, right? Kind of spooky.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to describe, and I'll tell you, this is a funny. I guess this is a little sound. This sounds random, and it is, but to cut a very long story short, we've been looking at some camera adjacent things for my kid, for some stuff my kid's going to do in life, and that's enough said. iPhones are so great for so many things, but iPhones are kind of, in some ways, not that great for taking night photos of stars. iPhones are, in some ways, at least mine anyways, not that great. How about this? iPhones are not, today's iPhones, the current with all the computational stuff, they don't do a great job of showing you how it looks, and they do a terrible job of showing you how it feels. Because if it does, do you know what I'm talking about? Where like if you you ever try to send somebody like, holy shit, this photo doesn't do it justice. The air looks so, the light and the air is so weird right now, but the iPhone did everything it could to try and make it look pretty and nice.
Yeah.
It took off the like slightly like Jack the Ripper quality of this like hanging in the air and feeling like some kind of relentless reign of Tang title. Right? Whereas, if you even a DSLR like might not do great at that because of all the, sort of like different algorithms or whatever, but it's difficult to capture that and share it with people. And it's almost like the way Howard Hughes figures out that you have to have clouds in order to see how fast the planes are going. There's not much context when you take a photo. Anyways, it's just weird because you try to say to people, it feels really weird here. And with an iPhone photo, it doesn't always capture that vibe. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I'm going to give an unsolicited recommendation for Halide, or the app is called not Boring Camera, but to find it in the App Store, I think you need to do exclamation point, the punctuation, and camera, which has a like a zero process.
You can fully manual it. I have that. Yeah, you can fully manual
Halide,
it out.
Yeah, that's Halide. But if you want just to not deal with it still has autofocus.
You still get RAW and all that kind of stuff, but it takes off all the computational. The thing you see, like when Tim's up there and they show you like the 11 things that happen in a nanosecond on your phone. Comparing HDR, 3 different versions, does this, blah, 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 compares, and like the computational madness that makes your iPhone photos so good 95% of the time, right?
Yeah.
And this takes all that off and makes it as close to like a non-computational experience as it can be.
It's weird, too, because this is a bit random, but Matt has an iPhone 17e, which is like the Bardra phone or whatever, but because there's not as much going into the camera, his photos of it were I don't want to say accurate,
more
but they felt I'm like, oh man, I like cameras again. This is fun. Not again, but
see, you say this and nobody listens, but lessons are where you find them, not where you look for them.
Huh. Now that should be is that in the wisdom document?
It is, yes.
Oh.
Technically in that format, thank you for asking. I think about the wisdom document a lot. Yeah, it's in the sense of really mostly in terms of like opportunities to change the way you are, like things that teach you how you could be different are where they come to you, not where you look for them. Because where you look for them, you will find things that tell you you're doing great. Oddly enough, believe it or not, there's a kind of like a personal availability heuristic where we tend to think, you know what, I am pretty cool. It's the world that's the problem.
Yes. Well, society. I think I
Society.
had a society. Thinking about society. There's.
Whose voice is
I
that?
think.
Is that the internet? No, that's somebody. That's
is-
somebody fancy at a school, probably. Society.
It. I think that's the Atlantic.
Oh.
I'm a little grumpy at the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's weird.
But why is that weird? It's
Oh, because it's subscription only and difficult to read any of the articles, and you have to go out of your way to actually read anything on the Atlantic if it bothered you.
well,
Because
that's
it's
part of why
it's
I'm
pretty
grumpy
hard when I
about it.
want to read things on the Atlantic. I have to go to Apple News because I can never see more than a paragraph of anything on the Atlantic because I don't subscribe.
The
I used to.
it
I don't
keeps
now.
popping in Apple News, and I'm like, no, why? No. Help us, Mr. Turnus, please.
Help us, Mr. Turnus. You think he should replace Jeffrey Goldberg, or like who should he like?
He should be. I
Big
want
fan, you're
to.
a big fan of the media. You
Yeah.
should sue them
so
like Mr. Trump does.
I don't know what that's in reference to because that could be. I mean, roll the dice, and I.
What do you
I
look at when
saw
you
it.
look at the internet?
I open my RSS reader and I open Mastodon.
That's like me asking you what your favorite newspaper is, and you say I like to go to the store.
Well, no, I would say
No.
that
Yes.
I
No?
go to the right away, like the rack, and I see the local stuff first.
I didn't ask you how you
know
get
what I
your
mean?
news. I ask you what you look at on the internet.
Well, because that also is where I follow people is
Oh.
in that newswire.
Because
I
of your
don't know.
endless curiosity, you've curated a list of things.
Well, that's part of the. You asked me what I look at on the internet. I said
you
that
didn't
is
tell
the
me. You
first
said you use
thing.
RSS.
I said because I use RSS typically, I look at Net Newswire first, and because I have curated a list of a lot of blogs, they often share weird and interesting things, and I go to.
That's okay.
a
You've answered the
lot-
question. You look at RSS. Thank you.
No.
I
Apple
wish there were more
News as
things I could
well.
send to read somewhere. I don't love reading things inside Apple News, and it's frustrating to me how many things, even things that are normally free to read normally on the internet, like if you send it, in my case to Readwise, it'll go like, open this in Apple News, and like that's if there's anything I don't like about the Atlantic, it's like can't read their stuff in Reader.
No.
Different people write for the Atlantic. There's not one person to be mad at there.
I'm not. I said I was grumpy. There's a difference between grumpy and there's society writers at the Atlantic who are staff writers, and I don't know why. I regret sharing my.
No, you've done it a
grumpiness.
lot though. You keep saying it. You never talk about what it is you don't like about it, but you name check them like you're in an online forum, and your friends will appreciate the comedy of you also mentioning that you don't like the Atlantic. Which is kind of like not liking the Yankees, I guess, a little. It's understandable, but it doesn't really explain very much. What is it you don't like about the Atlantic? What kind of reporting bugs you? Style?
Love. Don't love.
What's a recent one that bugged
Moral
you?
Panic vibe.
Right.
The
Moral Panic vibe. You get that from the Atlantic.
Yes.
All right, I'm not that interested in talking about this anymore.
No.
Hey,
it's
how
not
are you?
Interesting.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. You're not. You're
No,
not answering
no.
questions in any kind of way that could make this interesting.
I
Like
don't
so many of my
like
friends, when I try to ask you a very plainly put question, to do something like make it interesting for our listeners by giving an example that it gets somewhere beyond the abstract observation you've made over and over. You say things like, I like RSS.
I don't enjoy repetitive pieces about
Like what?
literary crises.
Yes. Oh my
and-
God. Are you kidding me? Oh, where's David Remnick when we need him?
I understand that there's something wrong with Ivy League schools, but I've stopped reading about what that is.
You could read the New York Magazine piece about how Vanderbilt beat all the other, how Vandy beat the Ivies.
Is that the girl one?
Sure. Vandy? Oh man. She used to wear those bright and tight outfits. Like a bulb your dad gave you, where your children play with their toys. You want to do your intro?
This is Due by Friday, a weekly challenge podcast with Alex Cox and Merlin Mann. This week's challenge, watch episode 1 of Worlds at War.
I'm so glad. I'm so good. Was that Max's idea to do those recordings? It was, wasn't it?
It was
oh my fucking
idea.
God. Do you know how, does anybody I know how to make something interesting?
It was.
We have jazz, what we call jazz breaks. I saw a video of it, you guys in the studio, the two of you with these very talented musicians doing all them. We've got all these great little buttons. We don't use like 90% of them. But whenever you hear what we call a jazz break, that's was it a trio or a quartet? It was a small group, right? Probably a trio.
Oh, I
know there's drums. I know there's bass. I think it's just drums, bass, and piano. Anyways, whoever did that, I'm so glad we have those. I suspect it's Max.
Yes.
He also created something kind of like a Chili's with a drive-through where you could buy a tabletop game. I still don't understand it.
I didn't. I missed that.
Would you like me to explain the joke to you, or because he didn't
yes,
have?
Please.
Did he have a board game? Do you have a board game cafe?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Not,
was there dust up sometime about whether or not you should have a drive-through window?
Don't remember that.
You don't?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. Actually, I probably was also at the meeting. I've
had it with you. I love you, but I've had it with you. So now I'm going to ruin the show. Because I typically don't come in and fuck up a show, but now I'm pissed. Because you're not playing with me in the space. You're being.
I'm just bad at the game.
No, you're just bad. You're bad at all of this. You're oppositional.
Yes.
You're obdurate, and you're not in the moment. Like so many people in my life, you're obsessed with your past and terrified of your future, and you can't be fucked to look me in the eyes for 20 seconds and just be in the fucking moment for 20 seconds. Yeah, but what about my past and future? Oh, fascinating. Hey, everybody, thanks for giving us $5. I went, you know how I go on a tear sometimes? I don't know if you know that about me. Sometimes I go on a tear. Yeah, egg. Sometimes I go on a little bit of a tear. I had a mini tear. I'll be honest. Like a lot of women, I had a mini tear, and now I have to urinate all the time. But I was going back and watching some of my Les Mis stuff, and I watched that 25th anniversary version of Les Mis, where like 5 different Valjeans sing "Bring Him Home."
Yeah, the thing that happened in the past, and you were revisiting it. Yes.
And so
continue.
This morning, as I walked, that's funny. Did that make my joke better? To talk about what happened an hour ago?
I think that's funny. Bullseye. Yeah.
Okay. You want to make it a different show, and that's okay. You know what? Okay, forget it. I was going to do a funny thing that would make the show amusing and give us an opportunity to pivot to what the show is about, but instead you decided to continue being obdurate. So maybe that's the show we should do.
Now I don't even know what obdurate.
I'm walking around my house.
Anymore.
I'm walking around my house. I forget who said, somebody said this once about dancing. Maybe I'm not a good singer, but I'm an enthusiastic singer, right? I don't have a good voice, but I have pretty good pitch, even though like I can't sing in pitch, like I hear pitch really well. But this is what my family got to hear. And so you know the song, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, made very famous by the great Colm Wilkinson in the original. I think he was in the original English language. But so yeah. Anyway, the point is, here's me walking around my house before I met you. Bring him home. Bring him home. And then the problem is because I had headphones on also, I started doing the harmonies. And that's where the younger guys come in and start doing it even higher. And there's 5 of these fuckers. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's on Vimeo. There's 5 of these fuckers up there. Bring him home. Bring him home.
Okay. Yep. This is the anniversary version.
Bring him peace. Bring him peace. Bring him home.
Oh, I mean, I can't carry a tune, but I kind of like just push it and
you never sing.
Push him.
You never sing on here.
Yes, I don't sing on this show. But
my family does not sing. I like a lot about my family publicly, but they don't sing. And I'm a singer. I've always been around people who sing. Not singers as in like in a band, but people who just walk around and sing. It's just what you do. Nobody in my house ever sings. They also don't laugh at comedy, but that's just because they're, from the internet times. But, jokes are lies. Did you know that?
Are they?
Yes, they are.
They're obdurate. Is there an obdurate scale? Like,
Sure.
like a Kinsey
Absolutely.
situation?
There's an obdurate
Okay.
scale.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Now you say something and then to make it funny, and then I'll try and say something to make it funny. Because now you have a word that you could very easily look up and integrate into your life, and it would increase your enjoyment of the world and your ability to describe it with accuracy. But instead, let's make a joke about a word.
So
Let's do word jokes.
How is obdurate different than oppositional? Because you keep saying I'm both, and I just want to know.
I think they're tonally contrasting. They contrast tonally what you take away from somebody who's like that. I would say obdurate in my head. It's somebody who's, if you're like stubborn, maybe, is that better? Whereas oppositional is a term that I've heard used vaguely clinically to apply to young people. Like there's some kind of syndrome, I think, that's associated with being oppositional. But that's like saying Katherine Heigl's hard to work with.
Why I'm curious as
You are curious. Check out your RSS. Maybe
folks.
there's something about obdurate in there.
Well,
Maybe it's in
there's-
Wordnik.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
That's
I don't have RSS, so I don't get Wordnik.
Wordnik is
Matt at the
that
Atlantic.
a Wordnik?
You're killing it today, Alex. You're just killing it. I'm so sorry for this challenge. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I'm going to try to start thinking harder about this. I think for a hit 8th or 9th year, I'm going to start thinking harder about this. It was a terrible challenge. Media is death. What I said to Alex was, briefly, is that there's a TV series, I think a classic 37 episode-ish season of TV from, I think, 1972 called The World of War. And it's a multi-part documentary on World War II. And I think it's very, very, very well done. And I suggested it to Alex, and then you got into an argument with me about documentaries because that's just not
an argument.
It's not fun to. It isn't. You're obdurate about it. It's not fun to talk to you about
I said
documentaries.
that I was being obdurate.
You're not the sort of person who ...
The
I just thought and it's terrible because the first episode is not even anywhere near the best episode. But I thought just for the fun, I got a better one for this week. I got a really confusing one for this week, by the way. Challenge, but
that's a good challenge. I've a whole list.
Fantastic! You know what? Why don't we? You know what? Let's do something. This is a stupid challenge, so let's talk a little bit and argue. But then maybe we'll talk about the challenge on this part of the episode. Do you think people will enjoy that?
Yes,
and then we'd also end up with a better challenge, probably.
I
wouldn't be tired.
Will say this is an incredible documentary series. I watched maybe 4 or 5 episodes.
Whoa, slow down, Tex.
Okay, but
I like this show. It's broken into parts. I think the fact that it's a TV show. So I mean, I think each one of these is less than an hour, I believe, and it breaks it up. Do you get what I say when I said it's chronological-ish, where it's in chronological order, but it's very much by like this is about a time in the war or a big part of the war, and it's not just like this is D-Day. I mean Stalingrad. I mean the whole Barbarossa and Stalingrad thing is like. It's such a story that you can't just have one thing called, hey, don't invade Russia in the winter. But
I mean,
you'd have a lot of different Apple TV shows about how the world changed if Hitler had never tried to invade. Keep them, of course, in the summer uniforms, and they will go over there through the mud. The timing of it will allow the mud to be very thick. After it is melted, and all the clothes are still inappropriate.
Oh, which was that?
You can't identify. Did I do that accent so poorly you couldn't identify it?
I couldn't. I was wondering
Animals
if you were
would be
doing
raised and slaughtered.
Was it? Well,
Mein Führer! I can walk.
So is it Goebbels? Okay. Okay.
No, you didn't get any of those.
Yes, I didn't. No, I didn't. I thought I was like, which?
Who was I trying to impersonate poorly?
Dr. Strangelove. Yes. And I thought it was. I'm like, wait, are we doing Goebbels? I've heard a lot of German accents in the past week.
I like it when George Patton is so fucking good. Not George Patton. Sorry, George Patton.
Oh, George.
No, George. George, what's his name? He played Patton in the movie, but the general guy. I love when he talks about the mineshaft gap. It's so funny. I love that movie so much. It's so beautiful. Ken Scott's production work on that, woof. He played 2 parts. He was originally supposed to play 3 parts in that because there's several movies where he plays 3 parts. Go Google The Mouse That Roared. That was the first Peter Sellers. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth, Alex. Google The Mouse That Roared. You can use your internet, your home computer set. I don't know if it'll work on RSS.
The Mouse That Roared.
Yeah, I would say The Mouse Who Roared. But he plays 3 roles in that. He plays, in Doctor Strangelove, he plays President Muffley. He plays Doctor Strangelove. Oh, and what's funny is there's a joke a lot of people miss in that when the 2 guys are whispering about who he is, and the guy says his original German name, and his German name is just this fakey German version of the Strange Love.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I miss a lot of jokes, but yep.
I need a different show. I like this show, but I need it. Strange Love. Oh, Depeche Mode got so bad. Strange Love, movie, German name. Well, it's so the 2 guys are talking because, of course, this is in the midst. It's Merc. He says, who is that guy? Oh, yeah, he used to, be with the Germans. His real name is Merc Werdigliebe. His real name is Merc Werdigliebe, which means strange love in German. And I think Laurence Olivier, I'd love to, in a second, I'm going to throw to you and hear about what you thought, and I'd love to know which ones you watched. But I think his narration is wonderful, and the writing for his narration is pretty great, really straightforward, and occasionally extremely dryly funny. Like once every 3 episodes, there's like a complete zinger that goes in. Like September of '99, it was the perfect weather for a holiday or for invading France.
That's in the yes.
I don't know if you got to that one. I think that's 1939. Yeah.
And that's the second one.
So the first one is called A New Germany, and it is, I think, pretty well done at setting up quickly, like how we got to this, from a German standpoint. But it's the thing I was trying to say to you, and I don't need you to agree with me, and I haven't checked this historically, but I am amazed, given that this show was made over 50 years ago. Do you see what I'm saying now when I say? Is it not fair to say that a ton of that footage they're using is almost definitely either has no sound or unusable sound in its natural format, right? But every scene plays out in a way that we are now very used to. Mm-hmm. Which is that there, and I don't know if Foley is okay. I would love to hear what you think of this, but again, I don't know if I'm putting this right. You can correct me, but like, it's not like they just added a bunch of like Warner Brothers sound library sound effects to it. Somebody put a lot of time. Some team put a lot of time into, perhaps in a way similar to Ken Burns and the Ken Burns effect in the Civil War. Ken Burns has talked about this. He talked about dealing with, talking with Steve Jobs about this and blah, blah. But like, he needed a way to try and take, still photos and try to find a way to make them more interesting and, if you like, cinematic. And he found a really subtle, very interesting way using, zoom and pan, I guess you'd say. But in this way, there may have been movies before that did this, but I was just really amazed that for 1972, when they show any kind of a scene with old black and white era footage, where appropriate, it always has been, to my ear, at least pretty carefully sound designed.
There's not just the typical, when I think of it, the gunfire, but also I just get really taken out of the horrors that I'm seeing.
Feel free to mention the one you use, your counterexample of this that I'm trying to remember what you said. You had a counterexample of that. You're not crazy about how this was done in something like X.
In the Weather Underground, there's a bunch of footage of the DNC riots in Chicago.
In '68.
And yeah, there's the pepper spray.
Oh, it sounds like a whipped cream
silly
can.
string. It's real bad. And in a lot of World War II documentaries, or any documentary where there's black and white footage of soldiers, the marching sound
junk
to me, or the tank, which is like. And I've learned to like tune it out. It's documentaries are expensive, but this one, even in the very first episode, I apologize. I genuinely always forget the name of Hitler's Mar-a-Lago. You know what I mean? What was the vacation spot name?
No, it's confusing because there's two places on. Yeah. You're talking about the one in Bavaria, the Berchtesgaden.
I think so. The pretty one.
I think it's different from the Eagle's Nest. I forget, but there's the one that Albert Speer worked on. But I get him confused. But he loved Bavaria. It's like the fancy, beautiful. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
It is, and
those photos of him like hanging out, and Eva Braun, who like Eva Braun was such a proto influencer, where you can like tell she's having fun.
Oh,
well, no, in a nice way. Like I don't think she's a happy person, but she's having fun, and she wants to show off her like different like sort of gymnastic skills, and like how pretty she is posing, and she does these funny faces, these kind of like almost Princess Diana sort of like faces to mug for the camera.
Yes.
Hitler tends to be a little stony on camera.
Well,
even as all his guys are nervously like just walking around that platform trying to not get fired.
I didn't know that I mean you know that, or at least a lot of documentary, anything involving Hitler talks about how he just would not listen to anything about the concentration camps. Was in total either not just denial, but was like, nope. Generals,
part of that was deliberate.
Yeah. It was.
Just so you know, night before last, I just sat down and out of nowhere rewatched Conspiracy, the wonderful HBO movie about the Wannsee Conference, and as Kenneth Branagh as Heydrich is running that meeting, people are like, well, I need to know that this came directly from Hitler. And he's like, you will never hear that this came directly from Hitler. And he just kind of just looks at them like, a phrase we started using, I think, in the 70s, plausible deniability. Like we don't, Hitler gave us the orders and we are running with it, but we do not need the famously meticulously perfect German record keeping on how much Hitler knew about our plan for the final solution to the Jewish problem.
Yeah.
That was the phrase he used. The problem was two parts, as you learn in Conspiracy. You should watch it. It's fucking great. It's like 12 Angry Men with Nazis. It's really good. But the Jewish problem had two parts. One is, hey, we need these people out of Europe. But the other part was, and if we get them out of our Europe, where do they go? Mm-hmm. Or as Michael Stipe says, when you throw something away, where is away? And like, you guys need to get on board with a lot of trains going east.
The thing that I always forget is that part of how kind of antithetical it was to just German culture in general. Like, just do it based on vibes. Like, there's even sorry,
what does that mean?
That Hitler was just. Again, not in denial, but there was the like flow of information that was kind of muddy and unclear, even to the point where I again jumped around in this, watching the interview with Hitler's secretary,
the woman with the pretty eyes, wasn't she fascinating?
I watched it twice. She was oh my
wild. God. They have some gets in this. I told you. She's in that. The guy who Andrew Scott plays in the movie about D-Day weather, he is in this. The original actual guy, Group Captain Stinger or whatever his name is. But also there's one where now I forget. I'd have to go triangulate this, but they get like some people who've never been interviewed. And they're still alive. This is 25 years after the war ended, right?
Yeah.
So. But wasn't she interesting? And all the time she'd been down in the bunker, and then eventually, no spoilers, but eventually she got kind of shushed out of the bunker at the end.
The very first question, and the interviewer
Yeah.
asks is, so I hear that you didn't do shorthand. You typed everything out, and she's like, yeah, it was not very German. I'm like, wait, what? And then throughout the interview, she's talking about how Hitler, like as he was devolving, he started, contradicting himself, and was like, oh, it's in internet speak. It's like, oh yeah, it just kind of was like vibes the last couple of years, and then
You're talking about at the end.
well,
end.
and then at the very very end,
But I mean, like
how
post Stalingrad, when we've talked a lot about Hitler pills here, but Dr. Morell, who was a mushroom, had given him a lot of very Elvis-like levels of drugs, and on top of which he was injured and still shaken from that bombing. And by the time you get to the one I referenced specifically last week, Soviets are literally coming into Berlin. By the end, he couldn't use his right hand anymore. Or left hand, whatever it was, but like everybody in the army at this point is either like over 35 or under 18. It's like what do they call it, the home guard or whatever. And it's basically like the opening of Slaughterhouse-Five, right? Like if you remember how Slaughterhouse-Five begins, the soldiers that capture Billy Pilgrim when they're mopping up, they're all old men and children, because that's what happened at the end. He was say what you will about the guy before that, he had become very delusional and obdurate, and like he didn't understand the consequence. The Russia stuff. I'm so sorry you do this show with me. He really blew it in a couple ways. I mean, his not one step back strategy, like thinking, because like the original strategy was that it was going to be a lot like, like a lot of wars these days. We're just right now, this thing is so rickety. All we have to go in and touch one wall, and this entire thing will fall. Right. And it seemed true at first. They destroyed 2,000 planes on the first day of Barbarossa, Russian planes or Soviet planes. Right. And they really thought this is going to be a cakewalk. These people are monsters. They're Slavic, so they're stupid, and they're gross, and they should be killed. And he refused to step back at that right at a moment. Like, you can't have like a 3-front war, Mr. Hitler. Like that is a lot of supply to manage. And then in the Soviet Union, you had 3 different armies moving in 3 different directions. And Goering had said, oh, don't worry, we'll just airdrop a bunch of stuff and it'll be great. And like the amount of airdrop stuff he could do was like a 100th of the supplies that they needed. And it's just, any tactician would have seen that this is not tenable in the way we're doing it. And he got into a kind of magical thinking and refused to step back from it.
Yeah, not fun to watch and see some parallels to.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it difficult
like,
not to sometimes? I mean, I know we're not supposed to, but it's difficult sometimes.
I do.
I hate how often in the last 3 years, 2 years especially, I guess, I found myself saying, "This all feels." You've heard me say this. This all feels very 1936.
Yes. Yeah.
This feels like one of those years where a lot of stuff changed. Like that. In that case, and by the way, Colin Firth plays the guy who wrote the Nuremberg Laws in Conspiracy, which is on HBO, and you should totally watch. I sent you the link for it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
but like that's when they started saying, well, yeah, you can't have a job and you can't have money if you want to. Then that became, if you want to leave the country, you have to leave all your stuff here and pay us. And the Americans said, thanks, no thanks. They literally sent back a ship with refugees on it from an American port.
Yeah, that I didn't know.
There's pictures, there's photographs of people with little kids with faces in the portholes looking out at the country they're not allowed to be saved in. It was, I mean, people were really stunned from World War I, and they're like, hey, remember how we begged Wilson not to get us into World War I, and then we got into World War I, and then all these people died and it sucked? We are not going to do that again. I mean, that was 20 years ago. We are certainly not going to do that again here, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we got in a little bit earlier, oof, we could have made such a difference.
As someone who's not a tactician, because I love saying things I'm not, I don't, until like I had actually read Blitzed, the, Hitler pill book, didn't realize, how kind of literally shell shocked.
Yeah.
Like obviously Europe was, but how shell shocked America was, and then how the basically the success of the propaganda and like, yep, vegetable gardens, yay, like
Well,
how
okay, but also in fairness, like what happened just in the city in which I currently live, it's absolutely incredible what happened in once we'd really put our back into it. Like, just go look up how many ships got made in San Francisco alone. It's complete freedom ships. I mean, the tanks that got made, how just the whole of government, whole of culture approach to saying, look, we've really got to make this happen. And my
oh no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's wild.
But it took Pearl Harbor to do it, which is kind of funny, not funny, but weird when you think about it. Well, I mean, but like, you ever watch The Crown? You ever heard of the special relationship? Like, what is the most special relationship that exists? The United States and England.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, have you looked much at what happened during the Blitz? It was pretty unpleasant. It was very, very unpleasant. And then when we did get in, it was only because we'd been attacked by an Asian country, and then we did shit like bomb Dresden.
Even if
firebomb Dresden, incendiary bombs. They got Vonnegut bombed.
That's what I like. I try to think of like being a mom in 1938, thinking of like I'm an American woman who has lost my husband. No fucking way. Like I feel really bad for those people.
Like that's my brother. My beloved brother died in World War I. Like, or what, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And how, I get it and just but also then totally get the backing of the insanely good logistics. I mean,
hey, can we talk about which ones you watched?
The logistics of
and just real quick, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I should have said this earlier. Is it not fair to say that yes, I know this is true. I'll turn this from a request into a question into a request into a question request. Hey everybody, this is on YouTube. It's called A New Germany, and Alex, can I ask you to please put that in notes?
Yes.
The episode that was the official challenge for this is in notes. And did you say you watched part of a couple others?
Yeah, I watched part of On Our Way, the 1939 to 1942, the U.S. one.
Okay.
Started Stalingrad this morning. I don't know if that's what it's called.
How deep are you on what happened with Stalingrad? Are you aware of Stalingrad?
Only like 30 minutes because I keep on having to.
No, but I mean, like, are you aware of Operation Barbarossa?
Barely. No,
okay.
I don't.
Hitler decided in 1942, hey, you know what we're going to do? Well, first of all, we need fuel really, really, really bad. But also, we fucking hate the Soviet Union. And so the idea was there's this army in the South that's going to go way down and take over all the oil fields, and we'll have all the oil we ever need. But like, go look at a fucking map of the Soviet Union. And then look at that map next to where Germany is and think about what they had to do to get there with all of those people. And then, here's a nice, those big numbers people put up about what happened in World War II and all those millions of people who died. You know how many people died in the Soviet Union in World War II? 20 million.
20 million?
Oh,
God. Yep. Or
20 million people in the Soviet Union died. And America likes to cover itself with glory. But like, there's a reason General Zhukov acts the way he does in The Death of Stalin. Like, if it weren't for the Soviet Union and Zhukov's work in particular, it would have been a pretty different ending. And it's dragged out as the fucking Germany was losing so bad by 44, right as they were still ramping up the stuff with the camps, and then rapidly having to escalate that. But so you think it's okay? You like it?
Yes, and I especially like.
You get my point though about the sound stuff, yeah.
Oh yes, the sound stuff, and they cover a little bit of that in the on archive.org, which is also in notes.
Thank you.
And will be this week as well. They like the secretary of Hitler one. It's just her interview And there's also a making of at the very end. I don't know if they aired this.
Oh my goodness,
TV.
really? Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's on my list of things I've always wanted to find. Oh, thank you. And that's on
Yes.
archive.org. Okay, great.
Yes.
Is that from the time or from later?
No, it's for the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, they did some kind of like a DVD re-release or something.
Yeah, which
Okay.
is how I'd seen just like clips of this
Oh,
from.
neato.
Yeah.
That's why the versions I stole off the internet are so fucking. They look great. Like the prints that I've got do not look like a TV show from the 70s, especially let alone like a British TV show from the 70s.
I never thought about that.
British TV got rode hard and put up wet, buddy. We've had to animate some of Doctor Who to know what it looked like. No, sir, all 13. Could be the great curator. Be a doctor. The moment is hot.
Do you think that's?
Shall I just quote that episode? Maybe that's just my job now.
I
Billie Piper. How about that Billie Piper? Isn't she great in that? Billie Piper, Billie Piper and the War Doctor, who never worked together. Their chemistry as like the War Doctor talking. We're talking about Day of the Doctor 2020 something.
I think
2015.
Oh, I thought it was 2012.
2013 maybe, because it was the 30th year, 25th. Anyway, yeah, yeah. So if you like World War II documentaries, to me, one reason I like it also, just the whole series, is I think it's a good amount of depth for a lot of people, where you're gonna learn. Look, I know an okay amount about this stuff, and I learned so much more from watching a program like this, right? So, like, if you know absolutely nothing about World War II, and I don't think it's like deeply, especially given that it's made in the country that got the shit bombed out of it by Germany, and America wouldn't help, but that's fine. You will learn a lot from this. I'm not saying you're going to become Dominic or Tom from watching this, but you will learn a fair amount of stuff. And I would say, forgive my saying, I think it's a pretty entertaining show too. I think it's well paced. It keeps you interested even if you're not a dad.
You mentioned this a little bit, but because it is more on internet speak, it is not completely linear. It is almost grouped by vibes, like the series of episodes.
God,
that you get the you
If
get
you mention vibes one more time, I'm going to be cross with you.
but you get how
you can do a
it's
better
like,
word than that. Go ahead.
you get the
quitting the show, by the way.
emotion of that time versus the actual like day and date of Stalingrad, which is, I think, better at giving the context, especially for someone like me who knows very little about the Soviet Union, like involvement during like the early parts of the war.
Well, and the fact that you saw it, I mean, like, I don't know if you got to it, but you know about the pact that the Germans and initially they were allies. They'd made a deal based on Poland.
Yeah.
And then Neville Chamberlain and all of his other stiffly spined leaders in the world had agreed, oh, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just go watch these guys cut up Poland like a cake. And that's why Barbarossa was such a big deal, because purportedly even Stalin was pretty surprised at how badly the Germans had gone against their pact.
Really?
Yeah, because Russia was supposed to take the eastern part of Poland. Germany took the western part of Poland. And part of that it was a little bit like getting jumped into a gang or something, where it's like, okay, now we're both in this, and now we have a reason to work together. And I think Stalin and his folks in particular thought, well, this will keep Hitler in line because now we've got this agreement. But then Hitler just went happy-go-jappy and tried to invade the Soviet Union, which is so far away.
Happy-go-jappy Hitler.
So far away.
This is going to be my excuse to finally read Hitler and Stalin, a book that has been on my list forever, and I just...
Is that like Griffin and Sabine? The letters to each other?
I don't know what that is. I just...
How do you not have Griffin and Sabine in your life? That seems so up your alley.
Griffin,
G-R. I think I'm saying it right. Griffin and Sabine, an extraordinary address book.
What
Challenge.
Is this?
It's a perfectly delightful book about two animals sending correspondence to each other. And you get the actual correspondence to read in the book.
I was alive too. How?
That's kind of
yeah.
that's why I mentioned
What?
it. It's epistolary. My kid has
Huh.
it.
What the fuck?
September
Oh.
1st, 1991. And if I could do math, I would tell you that's the anniversary of the invasion of France.
Good lord. That's
Hey, you
not
guys,
funny.
if you're going to build the Maginot Line, keep in mind that the Ardennes may not be as impenetrable as you think. Ladies?
Yep, I know what all those
And it does,
words
this all
are.
does pair very nicely with Band of Brothers, of course.
Should probably watch that.
Oh, man, it's good. It's really good. Even David Schwimmer's good in it. And Andrew Scott's in it. Dexter Fletcher is in it, who has one of the great names.
Is Andrew Scott Moriarty and in the new
He's Ripley Moriarty, and he's a weather guy.
yes.
He's also a hot priest.
Oh, where? Wait, whoop.
Season 2 of
Hot-
Fleabag.
God damn it.
Oh,
You
what,
know,
did I do
don't
wrong?
think
He plays a provocative and I think very teasing straight priest to Fleabag.
Look
It's,
at
you never heard of Hot
him.
Priest? Hot Priest is kind of famous.
Oh, I don't.
I'm very attracted
God,
to Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
I'm good for you.
Thanks. Her sister's
Thank
great
you.
in that too.
I'm gonna get distracted by the hot priest.
Her sister is
Philip
very somebody
Seymour
somewhere.
Hoffman Priest. Philip. Is this good for the show?
Do you know who plays Fleabag's stepmother?
No, I don't even know what Fleabag's about.
Do you know who plays Fleabag's stepmother then?
No.
Olivia Colman.
Oh,
She's a feminist
well.
artist who marries
she's-
Fleabag's father, and she is insufferable in Fleabag. It's one of her, I think, most interesting and hilarious roles. She's so fucking annoying as Fleabag's stepmother.
I know media is death, but Olivia Colman. Wow.
Try episode 1 of
She
Fleabag, because episode 1 of
hops
Fleabag
around.
is a terrific setup for the whole show. It'll give you some Olivia Colman, and the ending of Fleabag episode 1, if I remember correctly, ends with something Olivia Colman adjacent that's really amazing.
But is it as amazing as watching footage from Stalingrad or
Depends. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, there's a lot of good Stalingrad content. But again, Stalingrad is like a year or more after Barbarossa started. It's considered like a different sort of campaign. Anyways, sorry.
You know, I think everyone I
do it.
think has a Nazi.
Yeah.
That's not an
Everybody
object.
has a Nazi.
Everyone has a Nazi like season. And in fact, the rest of history-
sure. A phase,
And
maybe?
Well, that's the thing, though. A phase makes it sound like it's once, but every couple of years.
It's like me listening
or-
to Sloan. Like, I got to come back to Sloan every few years.
Yes.
Or the Wrens.
But
yeah.
I haven't really had a Soviet phase or.
Oh,
or
I'd love to talk to
season.
you about that. Did you ever watch
So-
Death of Stalin?
Yes. That's
So when I
that's
say
like-
Zukov, Jason Isaacs,
Yes.
you know who I mean, right?
yeah,
He walks
yeah.
up to Rupert Friend. He walks up to Stalin's drunk son, and do you remember the scene? And as Zukov is like charging toward Rupert Friend, who is one of the great actors. He is an elevator, and as he's walking up to him, Armando Iannucci has written one of the great like Warner Brothers moments, where Rupert Friend is drunk as hell. Zukov is charging toward him, and Rupert Friend goes, "Medic." And right as he says medic, Jason Isaacs punches him in the face. Medic. It's so Wile E. Coyote. It's really funny.
Again, I wish there was a.
You know who's in Death of Stalin is Paul Whitehouse,
the
the fishing man.
Whoa. Wait, yes.
He's one of the guys.
Yeah.
Michael Palin plays
Yes.
Molotov.
Right. There we go. See, but-
Simon Russell Beale plays Beria, I believe. Beria is the great character in that. The bald guy who like is the scary bald guy with the glasses, the pince nez, who runs everything.
This isn't a good challenge, but I think that
None of them are good challenges.
Merlin.
We've lost it completely.
I think if you would engage in some of my more interesting,
I think if you either got a
challenges,
non-whore mouth or would shut it, I think the show would be great.
I just no. I'm like, but
Put a feed bag
think
on that
a
face.
Great.
Can I get a 12-pack of pussy to go, please?
Go.
9 volts on the side.
One.
Like to go and slide into
Oh, where?
the
Oh, no.
Well, it's up to you. I don't care.
God.
Oh, I'm not going to yuck your yum. If you want to go in an ear hole, go in an ear hole.
Oh,
If you like
ew,
your orifice, you
ow,
can keep it. That's what
ow,
President Obama said.
Oh.
Ow! You think a good challenge would be? Talk, say words. Good challenge. Good challenge? What's a good challenge? No, Alex. Okay, the bit's over now. What were you going to say? That's not fun anymore. Now do the bit. Now say what you're going to say.
Oh,
It's not a bit. No bit. No bit.
Create a blueprint of
Blueprint?
a childhood home or location from memory.
Oh.
And
Well, why don't we do that? Should we start shifting into? First of all, let's do final judgments. Was this a good bad movie, a bad movie, or a movie you kind of liked?
the episode. Wait, are we talking about Death of Stalin? Or are we talking about
Did you not
the
recognize
challenge?
that? You didn't recognize that reference at all.
No.
Okay. Hey, what'd you think of the first episode of The World at War, narrated by Sir Laurence Olivier?
I loved it. I
Oh,
hope
I'm so
that it
glad.
gets more.
If you want it all, I can give it to you. But you're probably you've got it on archive. It looks like.
Yeah, I download. Yeah, I don't have the. I literally don't have the bandwidth. But it's.
Neither did Hitler. We have a lot of fun here, don't we? God, I really want to make another coffee. Just staring at this one here. It's all water now. It's all water now.
Yum.
Everything's water now. If you wait long enough, everything turns into water. Hi, I'm a new
don't
character,
know who
which is
this
a wise
is,
old
but-
Southern man.
Oh, I thought it was a
Everything
Coen
turns to
Brothers
water.
character.
Who's that?
I thought this was maybe a Coen Brothers character.
No, you know
Maybe,
what? It's too close to Senator Hal Tankerbell from Mr. Show. San Francisco, dirty city. New Orleans filled with criminality.
I don't think I've
We need to
seen
nip this in the bud before it gets as big as a New York Jew in the summertime. Mr. Show was a very funny
Meh.
show. That's not my joke. It's not my joke. I didn't write that joke. Like
I know.
Dino
I
Stephanopoulos
know.
probably wrote that joke.
I was not paying
Stephanopoulos? What's his name? Who's the guy? Who's the guy from
Snuffleupagus?
Snuffleupagus?
Yeah.
Who's the guy from
Yeah.
Community that worked on Mr. Show? Do you know? He's in the most famous Mr. Show sketch of all time. Do you know?
David.
You ever seen the audition?
Cross?
No, I said Dino. Dino Stamatopoulos. You'll know him as Starburns on Community.
Oh yes.
Have you ever seen the Mr. Show sketch called The Audition?
And I don't think so. No.
We'll watch it together. Do final judgments. And now we're going to open the Flophouse mailbag. Letters from actual listeners. You know what David Letterman used to do? He'd say, actual letters from actual listeners. If they weren't real, would I be able to do this? I always thought that was funny. Special features. Star wipe. Starburns wipe. Ideas for challenges. Did we do that okay? God, this show's really falling apart, hasn't it?
Oh boy.
Should we get a third person? Should we get a Max impersonator?
That would be funny.
Splatter.
Oh, interesting. Is this the after show? Or doing
No,
the?
I thought the
Hey.
idea was we're going to talk about challenges before the after show.
Oh,
That's
that's
what we do.
all right.
We're not. We can just stop too.
The
do whatever you
blueprint of
Blueprint. So
But-
draw the floor plan from a childhood home or similar.
Yes. Or a theme park that you currently enjoy or have enjoyed in the past. I think designing your own theme park is
Okay.
what you enjoy. Theme parks. You enjoy.
That is a complete non sequitur. Draw something.
List. It's bullet points. It's not.
This started out as draw something, a place from your childhood, a blueprint of that. You're saying design something you loved as a child, redesign something like your house or something, or a theme park.
No, these are 3 separate challenges.
Oh.
One would be do a blueprint or floor plan, as you said, of
As I said, yeah.
your childhood home, or just a
childhood
place from childhood from memory. 2, you could do this is a separate one. Do a blueprint of a
Blueprint of your childhood horror.
Of your childhood horror. Ooh, draw your first crush. That's terrible, but
A fourth challenge has just entered the chat. Design your shut your fucking mouth. Challenge number 4. Design your childhood horror. Now, this could be a woman from the market. This could be a woman in a window. This could be a woman in a periodical. But without looking, from memory, you have to, from scratch, it's kind of like a cross between Metropolis and Hustler magazine.
Oh, God.
Her name is Maria. She has a name. She's also known as C-3PO.
I know it's from something. I just don't. I don't know. Well,
C in the pink, 3 in the stink. P-O.
Oh.
Well, it's up to you. I don't care. I don't care. And you know what? I don't think you should need fingers to finger bang.
Thank you. Well, it's a vibe.
Thank you. Thank you.